Hi, I'm Yianni, and welcome to Fresh from Yianni's Kitchen. Today is March 25th, 2018, and we've got lots to celebrate. One, it is the Annunciation of our Blessed Theotokos. Two, it's Greek Independence Day. And three, this is our first video demonstration of hopefully many. Today we're going to start out by making Tsoureki. Tsoureki is the popular Greek Easter bread that's made with lots of dairy, eggs, milk, and a very special spice called machlepi, or machleb. And we are going to demonstrate that by starting with step one. So the first step is to take 3 eggs, put them in the bowl. I add about a half a cup of water in there so that the beater actually reaches the eggs. And I put it on a very high speed until it's frothy and mixed. Okay, so now I'm going to prepare the milk and sugar and mastica, which I am breaking up in the mortar and pestle, adding it in there, as well as a tablespoon of machlepi and the butter. I'm going to simmer this till it gets really hot, starts to boil up, and turn it off. Okay, so it's getting there. As long as the eggs are fully beaten and the water's mixed in with them and you got some froth, we're okay. Then the next step is going to be, you're going to be putting in very hot milk into the mix, and you want to do that slowly so we don't cook the eggs. So the milk mix is starting to boil here at a low simmer, as you can see, and I'm going to give it a good stir, and then we should be ready to add it to the eggs in the bowl. Another key ingredient that I failed to mention was the yeast. So while the milk mixture is simmering, I'm going to put warm water, about 110, 115 degrees, into the yeast, and just a little bit of sugar to activate the yeast. Looks great. Okay, so now I'm going to put this hot milk mixture into the bowl with the eggs and mix them. I'm going to add it very slowly and at a very high speed for the mixer. You need it on a high speed to make sure that you don't cook the eggs, and obviously putting this in very slowly will make a big difference as well. The aroma's amazing. The machlepi and the mastica add so much flavor. Okay, I'm going to add the rest of the mixture in here, and we're done. Okay, so once we get that very well mixed, it looks about right. I'm going to be adding this yeast that I started in a small little bowl with the warm water. We said about 110 to 115 degrees, and just a pinch of sugar to activate the yeast. I'm going to turn off the mixer, kind of feel on the bottom, make sure it's not too hot or it'll burn the yeast, and it's pretty warm, but we should be okay. So now I'm going to add the yeast. And I let it sit for about, I don't know, 5-10 minutes until you can see the yeast will get real frothy on top of the mix. And then we're going to add the flour. Okay, so now we're going to add the flour. I put this machine, it's a KitchenAid Professional 6, on number 4 for the beginning to add the bulk of the flour. Don't ask me what the amount is because, well, I learned from a Greek mom, and there's no amount of flour that's measured. You just know. So we're going to work together and just know together. All right, so as it starts pulling in the flour, I'm going to add, this is probably, I don't know, a cup and a quarter, cup and a half. So we're probably at about 4.5 cups right now, maybe 4. And you'll notice that it's going to start collecting the flour off the side of the bowl. And that gives you a little bit of an indication that it's going to get to the kneading part fairly quickly. So you don't want to add too much flour at this point at one time. So I'm going to go ahead and add probably about, I don't know, half cup, 3/4 of a cup. And you can see that it's starting to form and taking off all the flour off the sides. And then probably, I don't know, another 1/4 cup in there. Get it to where the flour is coming off the sides a little bit more and cleaning it up. Yep, maybe a few more tablespoons here. I wish I knew the amount of flour, but I also know that temperature, humidity levels, elevation all make a big difference. So you're going to have to learn by watching, just like I did. A couple more in there. More. There we go. So it kind of comes apart, as you can see. It's not taking the flour in as quickly as it did at the beginning. And that's when I turn it down and I start the kneading process and probably put in about 1/2 cup at a time. Let it knead. The dough, collect the flour slowly. And you'll see that it'll fall apart in certain areas because there's too much flour, and then when it kneads it through, you'll see that it'll come together as one that actually may be enough. Let's see. This mixer is about 17 years old, so it's starting to make noise when it works. But it's been a good mixer. And KitchenAid, if you'd like to send me a new one, since I'm advertising for you, that'd be great. Okay, so it's starting to come together as one large formed dough. I can tell on the bottom it's still sticking to the bottom, so we're going to add whatever this is. Let's see, 2 tablespoons, maybe, 2.5 tablespoons down there. And at this point as well, don't be throwing in a whole bunch of flour because it'll puff up and come out of the mixer into your face. Yeah, that looks like it's going to be... I'll take this off so you can see better inside there. Don't do that. Still a little sticky down the bottom there, so I'm going to add another, I guess a tablespoon. Yeah, that's about it. I'm going to say it took, what, 6.5 cups of flour. It's cleaned up the bottom of the bowl there. Between my mom and my Baba Puli, I've learned a little bit about baking breads. And he always said that when the bottom was clean, there was enough flour. So I'm gonna turn this off. And the first rise, I just leave in the bowl. I'm gonna cover it with a clean cloth. Good 45 minutes for it to rise, and then we'll transfer it into its shape and then let it rise again and then bake it. Alrighty, so we're gonna go ahead and take a peek inside and see if it doubled. It's doubled for sure. And I'm just gonna give it a quick takedown. Come on, girl. All right. And put it all back together into one ball of dough. And then we're gonna take it over to the prep area to get it into the pans. Alrighty, so I got it off the hook and put in the final knead here to get it to where you can kind of tell where we might cut it in half. Grabbing a serrated knife, that's the kind I use. Don't know if it's appropriate or not, but it works the best. Give it a cut right there. Place the one to the side. Take the springform pan, and you don't have to use a springform pan. Just, that's easy for me. I put parchment paper in there so it doesn't stick, and I slowly take about, I don't know, a little bit larger than a golf ball. And I'll start in the center, work my way around. It takes practice. You won't get it done perfectly the first time either. And then I work myself around. The idea is to get it to look somewhat like a daisy. Should have, let's see, what is there, 6? Yeah, 7 or 8 is good. And then of course we'll take the other half and get that done as well. But for the purpose of not taking up a lot of time on the video, I'm gonna go ahead and finish this one up. And then we're gonna let this rise again till it's double. And then in a 320 degree preheated oven, you're gonna put the pans in, and after about 20-25 minutes, you're gonna cover them with aluminum foil so that they don't get too brown, because they get browner quicker than they actually bake. And then of course, since it's Easter, we're gonna add the Easter egg kind of in the middle there. Push it down a little bit, let it rise around it. And that's it. Okay, so at about 20-25 minutes into baking, you'll get the brownness that you want, maybe just under it. At that point, we put aluminum foil over the top. Be careful because of course it's hot, to stop the browning process, but to bake it for at least another 20 minutes. Okay, so the baking process is finished, and we have a beautiful tsoureki with our red Easter egg in there. And I know earlier I mentioned that I use a spring form, that you didn't have to, but let me tell you, it's the easiest pan to use. Just snap off. Don't remove, but remove it from the sides and take it off the hot bottom of the spring form. Let it sit cool. Wrap in saran wrap. Freeze until Easter, or bake it the day of, whatever suits you. From my kitchen to yours, I wish you a blessed Easter. Thanks for joining us. Have a great day.